Good morning. My name is Jason Coyle, Operations Section Chief for Southwest Area Team 1. Today is Sunday, June 12th, and this is your operational update for the north zone of the Calf Canyon Hermits Peak fire. Last night's infrared flight recorded the fire's acreage at 320,333 acres. We are showing the fire currently 70% contained. I'll show you on the map in a minute where we gain that containment on the north zone, but that's an increase of 3%. And as a reminder, 3% is, well, 6.35 times 3, so it's 19.05 miles of line that's been contained. So 3% doesn't sound like much. 19 miles is a lot of hard work. So yesterday along the fire, before I go to the map, talk about some of the other stuff that we did, just generally speaking. So the suppression repair work is continuing along the 121 corridor primarily, and then out east on the 434 road. And as work is completed in one area, we'll continue to move to other areas to get that work done as quickly as possible, especially that high priority work. And for us, as a reminder, that high priority work is the work that is on those steep slopes were steeper than 30%, that are adjacent to either the acequias, critical water sources, like even that feed the acequias, and then the private property, and then the roads and other improvements that could be damaged by flooding. So we're working on those first, and then we'll continue to work on the other ones as we go on. Along with that, we've been reaching out to the private property owners and have had, generally we've been pretty successful in finding out, making contact with those property owners and then recording their wishes as far as the property, the work on the private property goes. If we engage in work on private property because we have access and because we see work, areas that we've damaged that we want to repair, fences, etc., and you happen to own that property and you show up and you don't want us to do that work, just let us know. We want to get it done as quickly as we can. We want to make sure that we're maximizing the use of the resources we have out there. But if you don't want that work done, let us know and we will move on. So we're also working on the contingency lines. Again, as long as that fire in the south still presents a potential threat, it takes too long to get the work done for us to wait until that threat is more proximal, is closer to where the people's homes are and the areas we want to protect. So we're going to keep going on that. And good progress is being made. With that said, that progress is going to slow down over the next couple days and some components of it. So it's what we call hot work. So the way a feller buncher works is it drives up to the tree. If you can imagine on the front of your car, if you had some big tongs that, like salad tongs, I don't know if that's a good analogy, but that you grabbed and gave the tree a hug. And then it's got a blade at the bottom that is a big spinning disc with very, well, they're not very sharp because it spins so fast they don't have to be very sharp, but sharp teeth along the bottom of it. And so it grabs that and then it cuts the tree off at ground level. Well, if it hits a rock or something, it can produce a spark. And so we don't want sparks on red flag days, especially on work that is being done behind all of our control lines and close to the areas that we're trying to protect. So we're going to limit that hot work over the next couple of days, especially because we're going to be in these red flag conditions. And then we're looking forward to some increased moisture signals for possibly, maybe onset of monsoonal moisture towards the end of next week or towards the end of the week, Friday-ish, Thursday, Friday. So we're also looking at how we can best ensure we can continue to get this work done, get the logs pulled out and everything underneath those conditions. So we've got a lot of them decked off of the main line, closer to all-weather roads. And so over the next few days, we're going to continue to emphasize that work on the Calf Canyon Hermits Peak fire, because that allows us to be in a good position once we get the whole distribution of the wood to local communities figured out with coordination with the Forest Service and the state, to be able to move those even if conditions are unfavorable for us doing work on those unimproved dirt roads, basically. So let me show you a couple things on the map about that containment. All right, so this is a little bit of the Wayback Time machine here from Angostura west towards just south of Ripley Point. Well, there's Ripley Point, so east of Ripley Point. If you remember, we were calling this the thumbprint before, and then this area of the fire line right here is the one that we invested millions of dollars in aircraft and hotshot crews engaged in some really high-risk work along this edge to keep that fire from moving further north. They did that, and they were successful in stopping its forward movement. They had set up pumps down in these drainages and had pumps and hose lines going all the way across this. And they gridded and found spots and were able to pick up those spots all the way over this area. So that's over the last 2.5 weeks. That is what has occurred. We're satisfied right now with the way this looks that we were able to call this contained. So that means that we don't believe that fire, even under some of the unfavorable wind conditions we're going to get over the next couple of days, is going to move beyond this line. That's a really big deal, especially for the Sipapu ski area, for everyone that lives in Gallegos, and I'm sorry, I forgot. I haven't had to talk about these names in a while. Tres Mochas, and there's a name right here that I should remember, but I don't. And also the risk of the fire crossing over the 518 road and continuing north to threaten the values to the north and east. So that was called contained last night, as was all this fire's edge all the way down past the Serpent Lake Trail and all the way down near Horseshoe Lake. Sorry, to the Serpent Lake Trail and near Horseshoe Lake. So we're feeling confident that fire is not going to move out of any of these areas. And now if you look at it, basically we've got this black line that goes all the way around the majority of the perimeter in the north zone. That's a huge accomplishment. And it represents hundreds of firefighter, heavy equipment operators, and hours of aviators flying high-risk missions over multiple days to achieve that. And I just want to take a minute to celebrate that before we close out with this briefing. The last thing I wanted to say today is happy birthday, Dad. Today, my dad turns 80, and I was thinking this morning about all of the contributions that he's made to who I am, and one of them that I think is most important is help me be a better thinker and not to export my thinking to other people. So as I'm working through this problem today with you guys, and we have been over the last few days, I just want to give him a shout out. I hope you don't mind. Thanks. Have a good day.